Just one second, I'm gonna hit record. Okay, so thank you guys for coming on the call tonight. I'm pumped. I'm super excited for this call because we've never done anything else like this call. We've, for one, never had a guy lead a call on his own. You guys did the couples thing, but we've never had a guy lead the call. We've also never had two guys team up. And having kind of a dual call is something that's rare as well. So what I think is fantastic about this call, you guys, is one, 80% of Beachbody is female-led, right? So 80% of coaches are women. So it's like crazy women, that's all we know. I don't know how to deal with men, so I'm pumped for this call. And most of my customers, I don't know about you guys, but I've been in this for a long time, and I've signed up maybe 3 guys. So what that says to me is I don't know what the hell I'm doing, right? Because there is thousands and thousands and thousands of men out there who either are going to the gym and don't know what they're doing, so they're not getting the results that they need to, or they don't know where to start, or they have 100 pounds to lose and they're like, oh, I don't know what to do, right? So this is an extremely untapped market. So I think this call is going to be incredible. We're hearing from 2 successful male coaches about the male market, how to tap into it, and how to lead these people. So I'm pumped for it. I think it's going to be a fantastic call. Like I said, I have no new announcements for you guys. There was 1 new coach on the team. So I wanted to welcome Victoria Way to the team. I'm going to start welcoming our new coaches every week. Whoever is posted into our team page, that's who I'm going to welcome. So if you want your new coaches welcomed, you guys, you need to post them into the page, which you should be doing anyways. So I'm going to read those out. Then I'm going to do our rank advancements. And then if it's the end of the month, I'll do Success Club and stuff. So no major new announcements tonight. I'm just super, super fired up for this call. If you guys have questions, please post them into the chat box, and I'm sure the guys will be able to answer them at the end of the call. So, Shawn, I'm going to hand this over to you, but I'm going to be on the call in case something crazy happens, which it does. Let's be serious, right? Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and mute everybody really quick. Oh. Yep. Okay, and then make Shawn the host. All right, so thank you guys so much for doing this call for us. You guys are incredible. I love watching how different it is as a guy posting and as a guy leading a team, you know, kind of through this business. So I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys being on this call. I'm excited to hear from you. So you can go ahead and take it away.
All right, so I'm a little bit nervous to talk to you guys. Anyways, hope everybody can hear me okay. I usually have my wife sitting next to me and filling in the gaps of all the things that I forget to talk about. So it's a little different for me. But like Casey said, James and I are going to tackle this together. We're actually going to talk one at a time. I'm going to go first because I got something to talk about. And then James is going to finish it off with kind of what he's been doing and kind of what he's figuring out what's working, tackling the male market. So for you guys that know me, you know I've been a diamond coach now for about a year. Me and my wife kind of run our business together. And that's about it, really. Like, we've been putting in everything we got into this business, and we love it and wouldn't be anywhere else. So the male market is one of those things that is very untapped. Even for me, being a male, it's hard for me to approach other males because guys are stubborn and they don't like to talk about anything. And we all think we know what we're doing when it comes to health and fitness. So I kind of narrowed it down. I got a PowerPoint for you guys to check out, maybe write some notes down if you want. And I'll get through this within 20-25 minutes, and then I'll let James take over. So just let me share my screen here. Where are we at? All right. And okay. So from the beginning, so we're going to talk about how to connect with the male market. Like Casey said, 80 to like 90% of Beachbody is women. And hopefully we can change that a little bit by talking to you guys a little bit more about this. So when you look at males, you know, we're a different breed than you women. I know that us men have a hard time figuring out women, but us men even have a hard time figuring out other men, and what, you know, we don't like to talk about anything in depth. Most of us think we know what we're doing when it comes to getting in shape or losing weight. Let me get rid of this. Okay. So, like I said, most of us don't like to talk about our fitness or weight loss goals. One of the movies I just referred to in this is, if you've ever seen What Women Want, how Mel Gibson actually can hear every single thing that women think. If only it was that easy for us to listen to what the male mind wants. It's not that easy. And, you know, we're not all cocky, even though a lot of people think we are. We're not all cocky. So, and when I say most of us we don't like to talk about products really that are going to help us lose weight. Most of us want to get huge. That was my biggest thing when I got into Beachbody, was actually starting Body Beast, because I saw like how big they were, how fit they were, and that was something that totally attracted me to me. But in this presentation, I'm going to break down for what I feel is like the different types of guys, so you can learn how to approach each individual type of guy, because I don't think there's too many different types of guys when it comes to health and fitness. But for me, like I said, that was one of the things that attracted me to Beachbody, was seeing the super big ripped guys, and that's something I did. I went on, gained lots of muscle, and, you know, then my goals changed after that. So these are the types of guys I narrowed it down to. And, you know, there could be a couple different types, but for what I had thought about, this would be the types that I would narrow it down to. So basically, the weight loss guy, this is a guy that needs to lose 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 pounds. Most likely this guy will reach out for help, or if you come across him and you are inviting him one day, that he will most likely be someone that says, yes, I need help. I have no idea what I'm doing. But that takes a lot for that guy to get out of his own way and set his pride to the side a little bit. Next, we have the tone up guy. This guy, he might ask for help just to hit that hard goal, the guy that wants to lose the last 10 pounds, or he kind of let himself go, you know, when he became a dad or something, or he works in a camp and he never has time to work out. And this is someone that just wants to get back on track and maybe get back to where he was, or someone that's almost at their peak of fitness and just wants to step it up and finally get the results they want. So the biggest thing with guys is the weightlifter is probably a good percentage of the guys. We all like to build huge muscle, most of us. This guy probably won't ask for any help because he knows what he's doing, obviously, because he's already got pretty ripped and he's in good shape, or he thinks he knows what he's doing, so he most likely won't ask for help or want to listen to anything you say. And then the last, we kind of have the athletic guy. Again, this guy won't ask for help as he probably knows what he's doing, or he thinks he does because he's in really good shape. So this is what I've narrowed it down to for types of guys, and that's why it's kind of a hard market, is because a lot of the guys in this market are guys that are actually in really good shape, or they are the weight loss guy that's too embarrassed to ask for help, or too embarrassed to go to the gym and work on himself, or, you know, too embarrassed to do anything, and he's so far gone that he doesn't want to ask for help from anybody or accept that help. So on to the next slide. I can't stress enough knowing your stuff. Yes, Beachbody has a lot of products, a lot of programs that can literally anybody can do, and any single type of person. Make sure you know what type of guy you're actually approaching. And I narrowed it down to 4 different guys for you guys. So that's basically all of them, except maybe you have what else was it? A yogi or something, like some guy that likes yoga. He's very in touch with spirituality and stuff like that. That could be a different type of guy too. But there's something for him. So this basically, like when I say know the type of guy you're approaching, it's like fishing. You have to use the right bait to catch a certain type of fish. And I know that reference might not be the best, but that's the only thing I could think about. So when you're approaching, and I'll get into that, sorry, in the approaching section that I have at the end. So make sure you know the programs inside and out. Guys want to know every single detail and why it would work for us. It took me a long time to sign up with Beachbody because I thought I was doing a program before that was, you know, kind of working for me, and it really wasn't. And guys, we don't like change. I know I don't like change a lot. I've stuck to Body Beast for a long time, and it takes a lot for me to switch to a different program because I know that I love it. I know that it's worked for me. So that's what you need to know your stuff. You need to know the types of programs. You need to know the performance line, the Shakeology flavors, and all the ingredients and what they do. You need to know all of this stuff to make us attracted to what you're offering. So this is my biggest section here, is the approaching, because when Shawn came to James and I to do this, she had said a couple of her coaches work up at camps. There's a lot of guys that work in the oil field camps, and they have a hard time approaching them or what you would even talk to them about. So again, start off, you got maybe just stand back, study the type of guy, not creepy or nothing, like don't stalk him, but just know what kind of guy you're approaching. And from there, here's a couple of examples for you guys. So say you got a guy at the gym and he's lifting, he looks like he knows what he's doing, he's in really good shape. Why would he want anything that you offer him? Because he already knows what he's doing. You know, he goes to GNC or some other supplement place, spends a lot of money, gets products there, and takes advice from someone that works there that might not even know anything about it or about all of the products he's taking. And this is a type of guy that you could you know, maybe talk to him about the performance stack. Like that's a huge thing. I think that for me was one of the things when they came out with that. Like I liked the Body Beast line and I got a really good results off of it, but the performance stack offers so much more in every step of pre-workout, during workout, after workout, when you're sleeping. Like it's unreal what they came out with. And a Harvard scientist, I think, developed all of it. So, I mean, that's something that you could talk to them about, because guys like that, they like to know about supplements. They would like to know what's gonna maybe help them get even better results or get bigger or stuff like that, right? So, and maybe even suggest Body Beast, like it's a weightlifting program, and maybe that's something that he could be interested in. This guy's probably not going to want to know about weight loss or Shakeology. Like Shakeology is a great thing, but this type of guy probably won't want to know anything about it or why it's going to help him lose weight or, you know, help him become healthy from the inside out. This type of guy doesn't care. And I can't stress enough, Beachbody On Demand is like, it's just amazing. I can't believe the amount of programs you can get on there for all access, every single thing, and all the extras too that you can't get with the DVDs. And say the muscle building guy likes to go to the gym, he can take Body Beast to the gym, and if he doesn't want to look like the guy that's like watching a video and learning how to do something at the gym, which would probably be embarrassing for him, he can take the worksheets. He probably knows every kind of exercise, and he can take the worksheets on the app and still do a back day or an arms day or chest day by just looking at his phone without watching a video and being that guy that's watching a video to work out in the gym. Because we all know those type of guys are usually the type of guys that what's the word I'm looking for? They are too proud to like seem like they need help or anything like that. And maybe it's not help, but those kind of guys are usually the cockier ones, and they mostly like admire themselves in the mirror kind of thing, right? So so I mean, if he's watching a video on how to work out, he'd probably be embarrassed to do that. And I mean, you could just tell him you can take the worksheets and do the workouts, and this is a whole other program for you that you can give a try. And I mean, the Beachbody on Demand, like I said, you can take it to the gym, you can do it at home, you can do it outdoors, anywhere you want. This is honestly like one of the best things that Beachbody has given us to be able to offer people, because there's no DVDs and none of that stuff. You can take it anywhere. I know that I've been out of town for work before, and I've worked out in the hotel room with Beachbody on Demand and picked a workout that didn't require any weights because that's all I had to work with. So, I mean, for guys that work up in camp or they work away a lot, this is something that is just unreal, that you can just take anywhere and stream it from your phone. So, okay, the app has everything you need in it. It's even got the nutrition guide in it, all the bonus workouts and the workout sheets, like I said. You need to make this something that somebody's going to be attracted to, especially a guy, because we don't like change, like I said. That's it. That's all I have for that slide, but I actually have a couple other things here. So just a couple other examples on how to approach different types of guys. So say you see, you know, a guy, he likes to do yoga. He goes to the yoga studio. You know, this type of guy, maybe you would suggest Shaco and a 3-week yoga retreat. And I know we have other yoga programs on Beachbody on Demand that you can't buy DVDs for anyways. And, you know, you could tell them, hey, this would be awesome for you to do in home. You don't have to spend the membership going to yoga classes and stuff like that, especially since you know what you're doing. Why waste the money on going to a class to watch someone else teach it when you can just do it at home? So say you get a guy that's an athlete. There's a new program coming out called Shift Shack. That is like an unreal program that I'm really looking forward to, because that's another market of men that we haven't really had a chance to approach, is because we've had weightlifting programs, cardio programs, total body stuff, but we've never had a program that's actually kind of made for like athletic training like that. And again, this type of guy, you would suggest a performance stack, you know, help him get the most out of his workouts and reach his potential in his training. And so say you approach an overweight guy at the gym. I've been there. Like, I haven't been like completely overweight, but I went to Texas a few years ago for training for work, and I came back and I was 240 pounds, because Texas has a lot of huge beer and a lot of big food and like all deep fried comfort food. So I came back and I was completely out of shape. They opened up a Snap Fitness in Red Deer, and it was 24 hours. So being in the oil field, it was something that worked for me to go late. And I went and I used the machines because there was bigger guys using all the free weights, and it was super intimidating. And I used the machines and I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I just went and used something for chest, something for legs, and did kind of everything. And I didn't want to pay for a trainer because I thought that was a waste of money anyways. So, I mean, if you are somebody that goes to the gym, or you see a bigger guy that needs to lose some weight in a gym, I mean, there's no harm in approaching him to help him. Some people might take that the wrong way, but some people might not. They might be like, thank God, like someone can actually help me and have everything put together for me, and I don't have to spend a ton of money on a gym membership, a trainer, a nutrition plan, like anything like that, that all of this stuff comes together. And that type of guy, if he's even out in public working out, which would be amazing in the first place, because most people that are overweight don't go to the gym because they're embarrassed to be around all these people that are in really good shape that are consistently going to the gym. So, I mean, you know, like you can approach those people, like I said, and, help them stop wasting money on a trainer if they do have a trainer. Talk to him and see what he knows. Suggest maybe 21-day fix. It's an awesome program to start. It's not super hard. Doesn't have to waste money on a trainer or a nutritionist. It takes all the guesswork out for him that he can do at home and not be embarrassed to go out in public, like to a gym and work out with people that are in really good shape. Because I know for me, when I was a little bit overweight going to the gym, it was super intimidating, and sometimes I didn't even want to go. So I wouldn't even get my workout in. For a guy that, say the tone up guy, you could suggest harder programs for him and, really attract him to be to something like 22-minute hardcore, max 30, or core to force, or hammer and chisel. And again, he's probably going to be someone that's interested in the performance line. I know that we all know Shakeology is awesome, dense superfood shake, but a lot of people, when they hear that kind of stuff, like a shake, they like totally put up a wall right away. They don't want to hear about it. They don't want to hear about how it can benefit. These types of guys want to know about things like the performance stack, because there's a protein shake after a workout, there's pre-workout, stuff like that most guys want to hear about. Most guys know about protein shakes, right? They don't hear about Shakeology. They don't care that there's over 70 natural ingredients in it. Guys don't really care to hear about that. So ultimately, you can just suggest to any one of these guys taking the performance line. You can eventually get them into Shako once you have their trust. If you educate them and tell them how it can help them from the inside out, and maybe just help them get that, or get that little extra they need, and after they've taken the performance line, after they've tried a program, suggest Shakeology to them, tell them how it's gonna get them to the point they need and a healthier body, that it could help them just that extra bit. I can't stress enough when you're talking to guys, because I have talked mostly about the performance stack, that you need to know every part of the performance stack. And I'm not talking about just energize and the recover. I'm talking about energize, hydrate, recover, recharge, and especially creatine. If you're talking to a guy that's building muscle and that's what he wants to do, you need to know each one of these steps of the stack and what they all do. Some guys might even ask you what they're made out of. So, do your homework. I think, who was it, Shay Stanford said once, instead of doing an extra 10 minutes of personal development, do an extra 10 minutes of product development. Get to know these products, because there's nothing worse than approaching somebody about, hey, I got this awesome performance stack and it's got the pre-workout, post-workout, blah, blah, blah. And the guy's like, okay, so what's it made out of? What does it do? Why should I take that? So you need to know, and that otherwise you're going to be stuck at a spot where you can't answer him, and you've lost it right there. So, tell them how it's all natural, how it works with your body. The stuff that's made in factories, like in chemical factories, all the other stuff, like there is natural stuff at GNC for sure, but a lot of that stuff is chemical, and it's actually more or less working against your body than for your body. So, tell them this is all natural. It's actually developed to work together, to take it all together. I've taken the performance stack a couple times, actually got it on home direct for a while, and wow, like I can't believe the pre-workout's amazing. The hydrate's awesome. Post-workout, so delicious. And even taking the recharge at night, the vanilla is awesome. And the next day I'm not even sore. So it's unreal, especially for guys that are going to do hard training, and which is most of the guys that you're going to be approaching, get those little tears in their muscle and stuff. That recharge at night is going to help so much that they're going to have a way better workout even the next day. So also approach, there might be dads that don't have time to go to the gym. There might be single dads out there, or there might be new dads like me that want to spend all their time at home with their baby and their wife, and I would rather stay at home and get my workout in here And when she wakes up from a nap, I'm home, rather than taking my time to go drive to the gym, change at the gym, work out at the gym, change after the gym, shower at the gym, and then drive home from the gym. Like, that kind of stuff would take me about 2 hours, whereas here I can do it in half hour to 45 minutes, and I'm here when she gets up. So that's important to me. The other thing, oh yeah, maybe some guys want to work out at home because they're embarrassed in front of other people. I already talked about that a little bit. Or they don't have time to go to the gym, or they, especially in Alberta, there's a lot of camp work. A lot of camps do have gyms, some camps don't. There's programs that if a camp does have a gym, they can, utilize the equipment there. Some that don't have a gym, they could do the workouts in their room that don't require any equipment at all. I mean, the gym's an intimidating place too, especially for a guy that's trying to lose weight. He doesn't want to, look at all the alpha males there and kind of stick to the machines or the treadmill or whatever like that. Like, I've been there. It's really embarrassing to go to the gym, and it might not be like that for everybody, but it was for me when I went there. So finding these at-home workouts, especially all access, where you can do absolutely anything, and even like work your way up from 21-day fix to something harder and harder and harder, and push yourself even more. Like, there's no limit to what guys can do. So that being said, let me see. Stop sharing. Okay, so I'm back. So I hope all that made sense to a lot of people. I might have rambled on a little bit, but that's what I narrowed it down to, was a couple different guys, how to approach those guys. And let me tell you, a lot of us, our pride's right in front of us, and most of us, it's hard to ask for help. And if you approach us, we're going to tell you we don't need help because we think we know what we're doing. And it's really hard to crack the guy market for sure. And that's something that I've been working on a little bit more lately, to play with it and see what works and what doesn't. But as far as I've figured out, there's only a couple different guys, like types of guys. And that's kind of a way how to approach that, each type of guy. Really stress the performance line. I know that was a big thing for me when I came in. I was like, thank God, that's awesome. I love, having a whole line. I can do everything. I know now how good Shakeology is for me. But then I didn't really know, because I didn't really know much about it. So like I said, educate yourself, do 10 minutes more of product development, know everything, know the programs, know the products. If you tell someone that you should do 21-day fix, well, why? And then you don't know anything about it, you're putting yourself in a hole that's hard to dig out, especially when it comes to a guy, because we don't like change, and you need to convince us that this is better for us. So with that being said, I'm going to hand it over to James, and he can talk a little bit more on what he's been doing, and we'll go from there, and we'll answer some questions at the end. I know some of you have asked some already, but him and I will answer any questions at the end when he's all done. Go ahead, James.
Am I there? Can you hear me? Oh, you can. I can hear myself on the stereo way over there. Ams, do you mind turning that down for me, please? Thanks. All right. So, thank you so much for having me today. My name is James Maher, and I've been coaching for Beachbody for about a year. Can you hear me okay? Yeah, great. Thanks. I've been coaching for Beachbody for about a year. This is my 1-year anniversary coming up. And I'm happy to tell you I got about 35 challengers that I'm still currently working with. I've got about 7 coaches. I've got, of all of that, I've got 2 guys, and one of those is a business builder. In fact, my only business builder. So before I get into what I wanted to cover tonight, I want to say thank you so much to Casey once again for running an incredible ship. Shawn, thank you so much for reaching out. And Shawn, it is an absolute honor to share this with you tonight. So thank you so much for having me. To get started, I just wanted to say Shawn hit a lot of real good points there about all the different types of guys that you're going to encounter. I'm not going to touch too much on what he said, but he is absolutely bang on. You have to know what you're going after when you're going after these guys. Because honestly, ladies, one thing I can say is that the conventional method is not really tapping into this market of guys. The selfies and the videos of the workouts and like, that is connecting with the girls that are struggling. That is connecting with the new moms. That is the helping hand that they need. And honestly, if it wasn't for my wife connecting with our now coach, Amber Edwards, I don't know if we would have done this. I don't know if this is where we would be. I'd probably still be 55 pounds heavier, unhappy, depressed, wondering if I was going to have a heart attack at any given moment. But thank God that, conventional method worked for my Amber, my wife, and Amber Edwards, because it got me to where I am. And I don't think we really have to reinvent the wheel as male coaches, but as more and more males come on board, the less untapped that market's going to be, because there's going to be more guys out there doing what guys do to attract the guys that they need on their team. So happy Easter, everybody. I hope you got your fill, but I hope we're all back on track today with our workouts. Amber and I crushed the Quarter Force MMA Shred 2.0 today. We're doing the deluxe this round, so that was a lot of fun. So I'm going to tell you, this is how I connect with the male market in my network. Right now, I'm just working with a warm network, and new coaches you might not know, but a warm network or your warm market is your network of friends and family and friends of friends, not complete strangers. However, I'm happy to say that my only male coach and business builder success partner, I've never met him before until like my wife and his wife connected. And then he asked me how to do this thing. We got together last week, and then he came over tonight for like a mastermind brainstorm session. So how do I connect with my market? Well, the first thing I would really like to point out is that you can't connect with any market if you're working for this company. You cannot connect with any market if you are not practicing the vital behaviors. If you are not proof that this product works, if you are not inviting people to your challenge groups or to the coaching opportunity, if you are not, oh, I'm so sorry, I have to hit my notes here. Oh, yes, personal development. Oh my gosh, if you're not reading books or catching these team calls or, following, some of the really successful coaches in this business, that's the personal development end. And the last one is recognizing any and all achievement, whether it's a challenger, whether it's a coach, whether it's your own achievement. Recognize these things. I go through my newsfeed sometimes, and I treat everybody that comes in my newsfeed as if they were my challengers, even though they're not. But I'm uplifting them if they are down. I'm reinforcing them when they're confident. If they're just sharing some funny ha-ha stuff, I funny ha-ha right back at them. So engagement is certainly one way to let people know that you're there, you're a positive force, and you're willing to help them. That is just the vital behaviors. And what I'm going to talk about in the next few minutes could be 8 minutes, could be 40 minutes. I'm really sorry. I don't really know how this is going to go. This is my first Zoom call. So, pardon me. Some of the things I'm going to talk about are actually going to come back to a couple of these vital behaviors. So these are my notes today. I have no slides. I apologize. But as I get better at this, I will certainly introduce them. Really, the backbone of this thing is being friends with people. So, and this is guys and girls alike. It doesn't matter. If you're going to connect with anyone, you cannot be salesy. You cannot be like, look at me, I lost weight, you can too, join my challenge group. Oh, the challenge pack's $50 off. You can't do that. You have got to be a friend. I reach out to people, and I'm talking about rebuilding and reconnecting relationships that people I haven't seen in years or talked to in years, and literally just reaching out as a friend. Do you need a hand moving? I hear your move is coming up. You're looking for recommendations for a restaurant, whatever it is, or just reaching out to say, hey, I saw you just got back from Disney. I love Disney. Made me feel like the biggest kid. How was your trip? And then you hit that, or boom, you just got married. How's marriage for you? How's wedlock? I'm 3 years in. Oh boy, could we tell some stories? I probably, some of these people that I consider prospects are obviously my friends. It's weird that there's this ulterior motive, but these people that I'm connecting with, it is so natural. I've talked to them 10 times, 8 times, a dozen times, and haven't even mentioned Beachbody. Now, a lot of the times, Beachbody comes up naturally because when you lose 55 pounds, and this goes back to that other vital behavior, when you lose 50, 55 pounds, people notice. And almost every conversation starts with, man, you're looking good. What are you doing? And that's a natural segue into, well, fancy you ask, because this, and this. And guess what? This company is now paying for me to go on this vacation, and I'm working towards this success and that success, and these are my reasons why, and that's what I share with people. So I don't really talk too much about the income unless they're a coach, and then I bring them up to speed on that whole thing, but that's besides the point. I don't do this for the income. I do it for the impact. I absolutely love to do this. So yes, reconnecting. Sorry, I'm going to keep referring back to this bad boy here. I have to be honest with you. I just talk about Beachbody a lot. I am fortunate enough that a lot of what I do, aside from Beachbody, is really ingrained in the community. So I happen to work for the Heart and Stroke Foundation of Canada. I put together an annual fundraiser every year. I work at a steakhouse. I am a reptile man, so like I do birthday parties and stuff. I'm Jungle James. We breed dragons and reptiles for a small network of pet stores, and I am the co-founder and chairman of the board for a theater company in town that has done some really awesome things. So everything I do, I'm in public. I'm under the eye. I'm able to engage with people every single day. So like people see me in the flesh, I'm talking to them, and this is guys and girls alike. But when it comes to guys, this is where my the whole thing has begun to shift. And honestly, Shawn and Shawn, if it wasn't for you two connecting with me and inviting me to do this thing today a month ago, I would probably still be in male market limbo. But because we agreed to do this, I actually put a lot of thought into what I was going to say today. And then I put those thoughts into action. And in the last month, I've actually been able to secure my very first male coach. And he is a business builder. I mean, every week or every 2 weeks, we're going to get together and brainstorm. And I'm confident this guy right away is going to become my success partner. Having said that, let me just make sure I'm not jumping all over the place here. Word of mouth, direct conversations. Yes, all right. So I'm not on social media as much. I shouldn't say that. I am. But my social media is not bogged down by Beachbody. Because I have a half dozen other facets that I have to promote, I promote all of them equally. But I put just enough Beachbody out there so that people know what I'm doing and know what I'm up to. But when it comes to the male market, I've actually kind of gone through my list of friends, near and far, people abroad, people close. And I've narrowed it down to 4 guys that I think either have the mental capacity or the heart for this business. I'm not talking about someone that's attracted to the numbers or somebody that's just attracted to the commission. I'm talking about life changers. I'm talking about my friends that I think would really rock this business, and not for their bottom line, but because of the impact they can have in the world around them. So I have recently reached out to 4 of my friends and just started conversations. These were a little more aggressive conversations. I did invite them to the coaching opportunity, and I did lay it on quite thick, but it came from the heart. And these guys that know me know I'm not trying to sell them on anything. They know that I am passionate about this, and that they know that they can not just help people around them, but they can also improve their brains. They can also make some money, provide some freedom for their future, or for their wives, or whatever the reason is. But that's the new approach that I've taken, is talking to people in the flesh, one-on-one. It's a little bit of an unconventional approach because I know Beachbody has this, it's not in stone, but it is sort of a structure in place that we follow. And it has proven that it only opens up to half of the market. The other half of the market is going to take some twisting and poking and peeling back to break into that side. And if we just do it one person at a time, instead of just throwing it out there and like, this is what I do, message me if you're interested. This is how I can help. I'll put together a meal plan for you. Guys are really tricky. So unless you can get through that tough exterior, and this is from, let's say, from a girl's perspective, if you can befriend, and I mean really befriend, a fella. Like not, it's so weird because now there's this other stigma about guys just want to sleep with you if you're too nice to them. And it's like, it's really, it's a fine line. But if you know as a girl in your network, you've got some good chums, like some solid guy friends. These are the guys that will be most likely open to hearing you talk about the coaching opportunity and inviting them to the sneak peeks and whatever your network is putting out for you. Sorry, I just have to check my notes. There's a blah, 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 blah. There's some more blah, 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 blah. I shared just enough. No pictures. No pictures. I very rarely kiss my shake and post pictures of it. Very rarely. But I have once, I think. There was a double shot of espresso in it. Reaching out as a friend. I take my time. Yeah, like I was saying, sometimes I'll have a half dozen conversations with someone or a dozen conversations before Beachbody even comes up. And it does come up quite naturally, but sometimes I got to be like, hey, by the way, what are you doing for health and fitness? And that works too. Although it's only worked in the last month because we got Paul. I have to tell you, our house smells like garlic right now. My wife just made the most amazing lean turkey meatballs. And sure. Thanks, Amber. So please, it's distracting. All right. That was a big meatball, Amber. Thank you. No problem. I'm joking on it. Sorry. All right. For people that are interested, male or female, and I've had a few over in the last few weeks because of this thing, I have really opened up our house as a consultation or interview style sit down. So what I've really found helps is not just messaging back and forth. And I know it's hard when someone lives in Ontario and someone lives out in British Columbia. But for my immediate network here in town, in Brantford, inviting people to our house and showing that vulnerability and then showing them where we work out. And I happened to buy this challenge pack. Now, coaches can't buy challenge packs, but I had a friend that was interested in the on-demand all access. And I said, what the heck, I'll pay the difference. Get me the challenge pack. I could always use the Shakeology. I mean, we make little cakes and stuff out of it. And we do Amber and I are doing a shake a day every day. And we're giving out samples and stuff. But this challenge pack right here, it is hard copy. It is brand spanking new. And I can use all of this stuff as a selling tool. I mean, if people can see and touch and look and smell and taste and all of that stuff, if they can do that, that has really helped my business. Now, it doesn't. If you were looking at my numbers this month, I'm still at Success Club 0. But I am confident that by the end of this month, I will be at Success Club 10 with 1 or 2 brand new coaches, and I'll have my big toe in the diamond pool. I'm confident I'm going to be diamond in the next 2 months. But we'll see, that's going to take some work. But having that challenge pack and being able to invite people to the house. Am I running over or are we good? Should I wrap it up? 5 minutes? Keep going? I'm going to keep going. Having people to the house has actually been a really beneficial tool. Every day we've got a different appointment, sometimes 2 appointments a day, and showing them this stuff has really helped. I'm going to get to the end of this because I don't know if we're running out of time. I don't know if your clock's right or my clock's right. But moving on to what Shawn did touch on, and I'm going to wrap this up kind of quick. There are so many different guys out there, and you really have to know who you're talking to and what they're interested in. And you're right, Shawn, that product knowledge is one of the most important things. I'm surprised it's not in the vital behaviors, but it's in their personal development, kind of covers that umbrella. But knowing the products that Beachbody offers and how they can benefit your prospects, male or female, but since we're talking about males, I mean specifically males, that performance line, it didn't dawn on me until Shawn brought it up. And I'm like, oh my God, that performance line I know nothing about. And that could really help me appeal to the male market. Tomorrow, for example, I've reached out to this young fella. He's an active gym body. I work with him at the steakhouse, and I've reached out to him several times. His ears are perked. But he's also, at the same time, invited me to the gym. I've never been to the gym. I was booked once with my reptile show. Tomorrow, rather than keep inviting him over, I'm going to go into his arena tomorrow. I'm going to go to the gym for the first time tomorrow, and I'm going to hang out with this guy. And that is just one example on how I'm going to be this guy's friend and very naturally and casually invite him into this. And when he sees how this can work, then I know he's going to be interested. I know he's going to be interested. He already has this coaching heart, and he's taking care of our friends. One by one, he's inviting them, come to the gym, I'll work with you, I'll get you this, I'll pump you up, we'll do this thing. And it's working for him. So if I could just get him on this page, I know that he's going to really enjoy this when he sees the product and hears the benefits of the service. It's just, honestly, it's just connecting with people one at a time. You're going to meet a bunch of different guys. There's going to be guys that are intimidated by the gym that are going to need that helping hand. There's going to be guys that want a lifestyle change or want to body build or want to take their stuff to the gym. And then there's going to be guys that are driven by the numbers, by the business. I mean, if you can break it down for them and say, listen, if you help 30 people a year, you're going to get these invitations, you're going to have those opportunities. And I mean, I am close to becoming Diamond myself. I am going to be enrolling my wife this month, and I've got 2 coaches ready to go below her. That's going to help me get to Diamond. And then I'm going to put a lot of time and energy into her business to get her to Diamond. And then I saw this thing last Monday on the team call, the Smart Ass Fitness team call, about the 15-star Diamond bonus, the quarterly bonus. If you are a 15-star Diamond, is $75,000 clear US. You know, and that's quarterly. So some guys will be driven by those numbers. Listen, I gotta wrap this up. In closing, I have these words, and listen carefully, okay? I'm gonna come in real close. If you are lucky enough to find a good male coach, someone that is interested sincerely in this business, you grab onto them. You hold on real tight and you make sure that they get started properly, because that guy is going to be a gold mine for you if he's serious and interested. So just think about it. I hope I could provide some value for you. I might have just rambled a bit. I don't even know if it's my time to wrap yet, but just eat smart, smile more often, and be kind to one another, all right? Thank you so much for this opportunity, everybody. Have a great night.
All right, so from here, we will maybe answer some questions if anybody has any. We've answered, I think I just answered one of Tyler's, and James is talking to his wife.
I have a question for you guys. So we know what a script for a female would look like, and any of us. Oh, hang on a sec.
He's coming. Yeah, I can mute him.
We kind of know how to come up with a script for a female and what that would look like and kind of the components of it. How would you change that script if you were talking to a male? So like if you were talking to a male coach and you wanted to approach a guy, instead of having a hey girl message, I guess, what would the hey guy message be? You know what I mean?
For me, it's kind of the same idea, but more related to like what kind of guy he is. That's all. Like I have actually Casey, I think you met him at Super Saturday. He's a potential coach for us, and guys are definitely a lot harder, but I've actually talked to him. He joined our challenge group, and we've approached him about coaching, but in a different way, because if you were to approach like a guy as a customer, obviously figure out what kind of guy they are, like I stated before, and approach it that way. I'll talk about the things like, hey man, how's the gym going? Like casual conversation goes such a long way, and especially from a guy to a guy or a girl to a guy. It's really no different than keeping a casual conversation with someone and totally just being patient. I used to be so impatient when it came to just like having conversation with people, and I know they're going to be a good coach or like they'd be totally interested in this product or this program. But like James said, like he talks to people, he becomes their friends, and some of these people are my friends and some aren't. But I think just having that casual conversation and talking about and finding out maybe similar interests and stuff, and eventually like like I would say for James, like his friend that's like, hey, come to the gym, and James wants his friend to come over to his house so he can talk to him about the coaching thing. I'd go to the gym with him. I would talk to him about like what he's doing, and hey, maybe I'll stream my workout next to you. What are you doing? Oh, I'm just streaming my body beast workout or whatever. But I think it's not really too different than a hey girl message. It's just kind of checking out their page, seeing their interest, and talking to them as a friend, and eventually getting to that invite to a challenge group or invite to the business opportunity, and approaching them of what type of guy they are and what they'd be attracted to, really. If
And
that makes sense.
more to the point too with guys, hey, like not so
Yeah.
much like feely, like I know with girls it's easy to talk about like, yes, their goals, but then talking, just like so much more in depth. With guys, I notice they're really like to the point. Like,
Yeah, I've been
point, they don't want to talk.
No, and that's the thing. Like I said, guys don't like to talk about their, feelings or what's going on, or they don't want to talk about their weight loss goals or whatever. It's just, you're right, though. A lot of it is to the point because we don't like to talk about that stuff in depth, for sure.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And then my second question for you is, what about guys in your challenge groups? So I know you and Alex run your challenge group together. You're a guy running it. But what about me? Like I have all women in my challenge group. It's the Magic Mama Challenge. So would you, because if I start bringing on guys, would you have them join into the female challenge group? Would you run a separate challenge for the guys? Would you run, a general one? And then what would you suggest on, kind of that topic?
See, that's kind of tough because I know Alex has talked about running like a mama group, and that's great because that's where girls can all like come together and they all have a lot of stuff in common and whatever. But I think a guy personally, like I would be uncomfortable joining a group of a bunch of girls and my goals are totally different while they're like doing their workout, and I'm like, I want to lift weights and I want to do like manly grunt work kind of stuff. I think it would be smart to start, if you have enough guys, to start an all guys group. And even if a girl was running the group for you, Casey, you'd be like, look at Andre, he's super pumped. I got all my knowledge from him. Like, look how jacked he is or whatever. And I'm leading this group because I helped him or whatever, right? But I mean, it's also like we have a mixed group, and I think that's a good thing that we have going now as well. Because, sorry, baby's awake.
And what about what was I going to say? What about I know the women are really, really like, my selling feature for women is the challenge group. Guys aren't as much like that, are they? They want to know about the programs and the products. They don't really care so much about a challenge group. Like they don't want to be in a challenge group.
It's funny. I've had 2 male challengers in the last year, 2 of them, and both of them quit. Like both of them quit before they even got through the first round of 21-day fix. One guy actually sent his challenge pack back, so I was out the commission. But that's not the important part. But my guys quit. So I do have one active male in the challenge group, but it's his wife's Facebook account, not his. He doesn't even have Facebook, so I wouldn't even consider him actively in the challenge group. He's just actively in a lifestyle change. My difference is I am reaching out to the guys now as coaches. The coaching opportunity. I think if you had a fella that was really struggling with his waist, and he was really looking to you for answers, I'm confident that that gentleman on a weight loss journey would be okay in a challenge group with a team of girls. As long as that's the guy that is ready to do anything to change his life and lose weight. But again, since we're talking about different kinds of guys, a bodybuilder gym guy who wants, the whole kid and caboodle for different reasons, he doesn't want your challenge group. No. And I do have a guy that is in my challenge group now. The gentleman, Paul, that I mentioned earlier, he's my going-to-be business builder. Oh, my God, she's so cute. Look how cute. Sorry, I got distracted. Casey, your daughter's adorable. It's like squirrel. Oh. But I really think that if a guy is coming to you for answers, he is going to be okay being in a female challenge group.
That's true. Like you're saying though, like the weightlifter guy, the guy that goes to the gym, he knows what he's doing kind of thing, and you approach him about the performance stack. That's the type of guy, like you said, he's not going to want to be in your challenge group because he knows what he's doing. You know, offer him the products, tell him all about it, maybe about a program that he might be interested in. And if he doesn't want to join the challenge group, that's fine. Let him do his thing. As he's getting his products, you've introduced him to it, and he's good to go. And maybe later on, once he loves the products and he's like, hey man, what can I do after this program? Like, what would be good for me? You know, that might be a time to talk about the coaching opportunity. That, like, man, you are such an inspiration. You have so much motivation. Like, what would you think about doing this as a business and helping other people get to where you were? Like, there's people that are guys that are gonna want to be in your challenge group, like James said, the guys that are gonna need that help, and guys that aren't gonna need that help, but they'd be really good to be a coach as well. So not everybody needs to be in your challenge group.
Leading with the programs and products as opposed to leading with the challenge group, which is like total flip opposite from women, right? Which is kind of cool.
It's funny you say that, Casey, because I found that reaching out to my female market, I've been able to be much more blunt and to the point with the girls than I have been with the guys. I find the guys is a very roundabout approach, and you really have to get in before it comes down to that trust thing, I think. But it really, I don't know. I've had a very easy time with reaching out to girls saying, hey, you know, I know we talked about this briefly in the past, and I just want to reach out to you today to see how your wellness journey is going and what you're doing for health and fitness. And I also wanted to let you know, because obviously my network knows after a year that I'm a Beachbody coach, among other things. So it's easy for me to reach out and just say, hey, there's a great feature on one of the products this month. I just want to let you know the challenge pack we talked about in the new year is on $50 off, $45 in the price, and then $5 in taxes. So I use the $50 discount, and that has really been able to bring some attention back to some of the girls. But it's been so easy to talk to girls for the last year. It's been very difficult to wrap my brain around. Guys, I'm sure my wife's like, yeah, you got that right.
That's because most guys don't like to respond.
Guys don't like to admit.
Yeah, that's true.
Girls are like, help me. Guys are like, yo, I don't need help. I don't need to read the instruction manual. I don't need not pulling the car over even though we're lost.
But that's totally me. If we weren't actually running a challenge group and helping people, like, I probably wouldn't have been one of those people that like to be in a challenge group. It's like, give me my program and my products. Let me figure it out myself. It's the same thing with directions with guys. Like Casey said, like, I'll figure it out myself. I don't need to be in a group. I don't need help, kind of thing, right? And if someone wants to do that, that's fine. And if they struggle along the way, most likely they'll reach out for help and be like, hey, I'm in your group. Nothing, I don't know it's not working and I'm struggling or whatever. Like, mostly at that time, the guys will actually reach out for help. So if they don't want to be in the group right away, but they want the products, they want the program, let them do it. Like, and like that performance stack for like 90% of guys, they care about because they want to get big, especially with their creatine and all that stuff. Like, I tried all that stuff. I did it. I gained a lot of muscle and I stick to Body Beast because I love it. And it's hard for me to change up programs. So it's hard to convince a guy to change from what he knows. But this is where you need to learn all your stuff. You need to learn the products and the programs and study that stuff and not just be like, oh, we have all this stuff to offer. Okay, what does it do for me? I don't know. Like, you need to know your shit if you're going to be talking. And that goes with girls too. It's the same thing. If you're talking to anybody, you need to know what you're talking about.
Cool. All right, guys. So we are going over. Do you guys have any more questions for these guys? Any thoughts or comments? You guys can post it into the chat box and they can answer it for you.
If you guys have any questions,
sorry, you go ahead. You go ahead, Shawn.
If you guys have any questions later on or whatever, reach out to me or James. if you have questions obtaining to this call, like approaching the male market kind of thing, I'll be happy to help anybody, even if I'm not your coach or whatever. And same with James, he'll help. He told me when we talked earlier, like, we don't mind helping anybody that has any questions at all.
Cool.
Go ahead, James.
Sorry, my wife had a point she wanted to make, and I think it was pretty good. She was basically saying, like, you know, if as female coaches, you should be sort of targeting your friends' husbands, because especially if you've got female challengers and they're doing really well and they're looking really good and their husbands need to step up their game. Not that this is going to be on the chopping block or anything, but she also thinks that the on-demand versatility, like, the thing is that this all access is so new, people don't know the value. So we as coaches have to create that value for them. We have to educate them about the versatility and the portability of these programs. And honestly, I've had a few people that were on the fence. They prefer the Shakeology. They don't care about the service. And as soon as they get on that Netflix for fitness, and they start poking around and they see that there's line dancing and mixed martial arts, and, you know, some girls are into that body beast. Yeah, I have a friend that was a coach. She's not a coach anymore, but she's doing something different with her life. But she loves the products. She still consumes the products, and she loves that body beast. So, like, that the on-demand all access and the performance line, it's really it's the product knowledge that is going to land your valuable coaches. And to get, again, I don't think guys want to be challengers. I think they want the products. They want the services. And there are a few guys out there that are desperate to lose weight and make a lifestyle change. And those guys are going to be A-okay with whatever helping hand is there for them. Girl or guy or an all-female group, it's not going to matter. Some people are going to be ready for that change. Sorry.
Can I just say thank you really quick, because I know when I first talked to you guys, I know, James, you were a little bit apprehensive when I first pitched it, but I'm just so grateful, because I know that especially a few coaches on my team have come away with this being literally gold for their business tonight. So I'm so grateful. I just want to say thank you so much. And I'm popping off because I have to run, but everybody have a great night. Thanks, Casey.
Thanks, Shawn.
Awesome. Well, if you guys don't have any more questions, like these guys said, you know, post it into the group. That is what the team page is for. You know, we're kind of all in it together, but I really, really appreciate you guys, because I love learning from, you know, other coaches and how they're doing their business and, you know, different markets and how you guys are all doing it differently. So I think that's really, really cool. And I took a ton from this call for myself. Still makes me a little nervous, but I'm excited for it, and I feel like I'm more educated in that situation. So if you guys don't have any more questions for these guys, thank you so, so much for doing this. I really, really appreciate it. We all appreciate it. You guys kick ass. I'm so proud of you, and I love all of you. I love this team. So thank you guys for coming out tonight. I know that it's a holiday, and you guys made time, and I appreciate you. So we will see you guys next week. Have a good night, guys.
Hey, thanks, Casey.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, guys. Oh, you're my favorite. Bye, Casey. Thank you so much.
See you later.
Bye.